Picture this, it's the dead of winter, and Mother Nature isn't playing nice. The temperature is dropping faster than your phone battery, the power just went out, and before you know it, your cozy home is turning into an oversized icebox. You might think you'll just call for help, but surprise, your phone is now as useful as a snowball in your pocket. No heat, no electricity, and worst of all, no way to call for backup. You're not just uncomfortable, you're in trouble. This isn't some far-off nightmare. Winter emergencies are becoming as predictable as bad traffic during a snowstorm. We're talking relentless winter storms, widespread blackouts, and yes, those frustrating supply shortages. If you think you can tough it out without preparation, think again. Without the right gear, you and your family are at risk of being left out in the cold, literally and figuratively. In this video, we're cutting through the fluff to get straight to the point you need to be prepared. I'm going to walk you through the 10 absolutely essential items that you must have on hand before the next power outage hits. We're not just talking about keeping warm, we're talking about survival. This isn't about merely staying comfortable, it's about ensuring your home is a sanctuary, not a snow cave, and that your family's well-being isn't left to chance during harsh winter conditions. So, settle in and listen up. We're diving into the must-have winter survival items that could mean the difference between a safe winter night and a freezing nightmare. Time is ticking, and winter waits for no one. Let's get you and your family prepared before it's too late. 10. Having emergency heating solutions isn't merely a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential for your survival and comfort. First, let's talk about heat sources that don't rely on electricity. Kerosene and propane heaters are top contenders in this category. They can be lifesavers, offering you the warmth you desperately need when the grid fails. However, they come with significant safety concerns. Ventilation is non-negotiable. Without it, you risk carbon monoxide poisoning, which can be deadly. A working carbon monoxide detector should be at the top of your must-have list. This isn't a suggestion, it's a life-saving requirement. The same heat source that keeps you alive can turn deadly without proper precautions. If you have access to a fireplace or a wood-burning stove, consider yourself lucky. But luck isn't enough. Preparation is key. Ensure that your fireplace is in working order before the first snowflake falls. Stockpile dry firewood and make sure your chimney is clean and ready to use. These steps can make all the difference if you find yourself without power for an extended period. Keep in mind that it's easier and safer to focus on heating a smaller space. Choose one room in your home, seal off doors and windows with heavy blankets or plastic sheeting, and concentrate your heating efforts there. Now, let's discuss some additional tools for fighting the cold. Heated blankets and thermal wear can be game changers. Even if your heating options are limited, these items can add an extra layer of warmth. They can be powered by a small generator or a power bank, making them incredibly valuable during blackouts when every bit of warmth counts. Here's a crucial tip: preparation is your best ally. Plan your emergency heating strategy with precision. Understand how to operate your devices safely and effectively, and always have backup plans in place. A single oversight can turn a manageable situation into a dangerous one. 9. Insulation and weatherproofing. Imagine this: the temperature outside is plummeting faster than your patience with the neighbor's unshoveled driveway. You've got a backup propane heater or maybe a wood stove keeping your place toasty. But hold on, what's that? A drafty window? An under-the-door breeze? Your precious heat is practically waving goodbye as it slips out into the frozen tundra that is now your yard. Not cool. First off, grab those draft stoppers and put them to work under every door. These little lifesavers block cold air from sneaking in like a thief in the night. For windows, heavy-duty plastic sheeting or insulation film is your best friend. Tape it snugly over the glass, and you've got yourself a heat-trapping barrier. Pair this with some heavy curtains or thermal drapes. Not only do they look good, but they actually help keep the warmth where it belongs in your home. Now, let's talk cracks and gaps. They might seem innocent enough, but those tiny crevices around your doors and windows are like open invitations for cold air. Arm yourself with caulk or weather stripping and seal those suckers up. Even the smallest cracks can turn your cozy haven into a chilly wind tunnel. For those living in older houses, listen up, your walls and attic might be more sieve than shelter. Consider adding some extra insulation. It's a bit of work, sure, but think of it as an investment in not freezing this winter. And don't overlook your floor's cold air loves to rise, especially if your house sits over a crawl space. Lay down thick rugs or carpet. Not only will it keep your feet happy, it'll help trap the warmth and make your living space more bearable. Speaking of bearable, let's not forget about your plumbing. Frozen pipes are no joke. They burst, they flood, and they leave you without water, which is about as fun as it sounds. Insulate any exposed pipes in unheated areas like basements. Pipe insulation foam or heat tape is your go-to here. It's a small effort that can save you from a massive headache and repair bill. So there you have it. Insulation and weatherproofing aren't just about comfort, they're about survival. When the power's out and the temperature's dropping, these steps could be the difference between a warm night in and a freezing fiasco. Don't wait until it's too late. Get your home ready now and ensure that when winter throws its worst at you, you're more than prepared to handle it. 8. We're talking about keeping your family warm and safe when the grid goes down, and it's not just about throwing on another sweater. First things first, concentrate your warmth by gathering everyone in the house into one small room. Choose the coziest, most compact room you've got. Why? Because it's easier to keep a smaller space warm, and you'll be sharing body heat like it's a group hug from Mother Nature herself. Now, shut off all rooms you're not using. Use blankets, plastic sheets, or even towels to seal off those areas, keeping the heat from escaping into the void. Trust me, every degree counts when you're battling with Jack Frost. Next up, let's talk shifts. Yes, like security guards. Sleeping in shifts ensures someone's always on heat watch duty. The last thing you want is to wake up shivering because everyone dozed off into a deep freeze. Warm drinks are your allies. Soup, tea, or even hot water can be lifesavers. Keep your core temperature up from the inside out. But listen carefully, skip the booze. Alcohol might give you that warm, fuzzy feeling, but it's a dirty trick. It lowers your core temperature and can speed you into hypothermia. Stay sharp and sober. Don't just sit around, move. Light exercises can keep your blood flowing and your fingers from turning into icicles. But remember, don't go overboard. Breaking a sweat might sound like a good idea, but it's not. Sweating will only make you colder once you stop moving. And here's a critical warning: never, and I mean never, rely on space heaters or gas stoves indoors without proper ventilation. You're not just risking a chill, you're flirting with carbon monoxide poisoning. Your top priority: safe, reliable heat sources and staying dry at all costs. Plan ahead, act fast, and keep your wits about you. The cold doesn't wait, and neither should you. Get your family prepped, and when winter throws its worst at you, you'll be ready to stand firm and keep everyone safe and snug. 7. All right, let's be real here. Winter doesn't mess around, and if you think you can just hop in your car without a care in the world when the snow starts falling, you're in for a rude awakening. Let's break down why a winter-ready vehicle kit isn't just a nice addition, it's a necessity for anyone who plans on driving when the temperatures drop. This is point number 7 on our list of winter survival items you must have before the next power outage hits. First up, blankets. Not just any blankets, but thermal emergency blankets. Imagine being stuck on the side of the road with temperatures plummeting faster than your optimism. Staying warm becomes mission number 1. And while we're on the topic, pack extra warm clothes, hats, gloves, and socks. You lose body heat quickly, and hypothermia is no joke. It doesn't care about your plans or your schedule. Now, let's talk snow shovels. A compact, foldable shovel can be a real lifesaver if you find yourself snowed in. It fits easily in the trunk and can dig you out of a slippery situation. Pair that shovel with sand, kitty litter, or traction mats. Icy roads are no match for these traction-boosting tools. They'll get your tires gripping and your car moving when the asphalt turns into an ice rink. Jumper cables, don't leave home without them. Cold weather is notorious for draining car batteries faster than you can say. Jumpstart. A set of heavy-duty jumper cables can make the difference between a short delay and a long, freezing wait for a tow truck. Better yet, invest in a portable jump starter. This way, you're not counting on the kindness of strangers or even having strangers around at all. Food and water are non-negotiable. You might think you'll only be out for a quick trip, but winter has a way of changing plans. Non-perishable snacks like granola bars, nuts, or energy bars are perfect for keeping your energy levels up. And water, keep it handy, but make sure it's stored in a place where it won't freeze into a solid block of ice. A flashlight with extra batteries is crucial. The sun sets early in winter, and getting stuck in the dark is the last thing you want. A flashlight helps you see and be seen. Add a high-visibility vest or flares to your kit. If you're stranded on a roadside, you need other drivers to see you. It's not just about getting help, it's about staying safe from incoming traffic in those low-visibility conditions like snowstorms or heavy fog. And don't forget tire chains or snow socks, especially if you're driving in areas prone to heavy snowfall. These give your tires the grip they need on slick roads, turning a hazardous journey into a manageable drive. Before you even hit the road, make sure your gas tank is at least half full. Running out of gas in freezing temperatures isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Regularly check your tire pressure. Too cold air lowers pressure, and underinflated tires are a safety hazard waiting to happen. 6. Communication devices. When winter storms or power outages strike, communication goes down fast. You might think your fully charged smartphone has your back, but if the cell towers are overloaded or knocked out, guess what? You're as good as cut off from the world. That's why having reliable communication devices isn't just smart, it's essential. First on the list, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. Trust me, these gadgets are lifesavers. They let you tune into emergency broadcasts, weather updates, and local news, even when everything else is offline. And with a hand crank model, you won't be left in the dark when batteries run dry. Just crank it up and stay in the loop, no matter how long the outage lasts. Next up, two-way radios. These aren't just for kids playing secret agent, they're critical for staying in touch with your family or neighbors. Imagine being stuck on different floors or even different parts of your neighborhood. These radios can bridge that gap. Get ones with a solid range, think several miles, so you can communicate if you need to venture out for supplies or help. Make sure everyone in your home knows how to operate them, because the last thing you need is a communication breakdown when it matters most. Now, if you're living out in the sticks or just want to be extra prepared, consider a satellite phone. Yes, they're pricier, but when regular phones and cell networks bite the dust, these could be your only lifeline to the outside world. In a long-lasting emergency, this could be your best bet for staying connected. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your communication arsenal, get a mix of radios, two-way radios, and, if you can, a satellite phone. And stock up on extra batteries or solar-powered chargers to keep these devices running when the power's out. You don't want to be fumbling around in the dark, quite literally, when it comes to keeping in touch. 5. All right, let's cut to the chase about stockpiling food and water for winter emergencies. When those blizzards hit and power lines drop, you can't just hop in your car and head to the nearest grocery store. Roads get buried, stores shut down, and you're left with whatever you've got sitting in your pantry. So let's get serious about stocking up before the cold sets in. First off, focus on non-perishable foods. We're talking canned vegetables, beans, soups, and meats like tuna or chicken. These bad boys last ages, and guess what? They can be eaten straight out of the can if your power's out and there's no way to heat them up. Easy to prepare grains like rice, pasta, and oatmeal should be next on your list. They're filling, versatile, and stick around for the long haul. You also want high-energy foods to keep you going when the temperatures plummet. Stock up on peanut butter, nuts, and dried fruit. They're packed with calories and give you the energy boost you'll desperately need when the cold creeps in. And let's not forget about water, a crucial part of this survival equation. Aim for at least 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and basic hygiene. In a prolonged blackout, your water supply could freeze or be cut off, so think ahead. If you're stashing water in places like your garage or shed, remember these areas can turn into deep freezers in the winter. Keep your water indoors where it's warmer or use insulated containers if you must store it outside. A little foresight here prevents you from dealing with big problems later on. Here's another crucial tip: rotate your stockpile. Canned goods and bottled water have expiration dates, and the last thing you want is to crack open a can of spoiled beans when you're starving. Make it a habit to check your supplies every few months and swap out anything nearing its expiration date. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Now, let's tackle one of winter's nastiest tricks: freezing your water supply. Without water, basic tasks go out the window: cooking, cleaning, staying hydrated. Good luck with any of that if your pipes freeze. So let's talk prevention. Start by insulating your home's plumbing. Focus on pipes in the garage, attic, or basement. Pipe insulation foam is cheap and easy to wrap around your pipes, adding a layer of defense against the cold. For those extra frigid spots, consider heat tape. Plug it in to warm your pipes and keep the water flowing, saving you from a mini indoor ice age. Another simple hack: leave your faucets dripping slightly. Moving water stands a better chance against freezing. A slow drip can be the difference between flowing water in the morning and a frozen nightmare. If we're talking about your emergency water stockpile, don't cut corners. Store water in smaller containers indoors where temperatures are more stable. If you have to keep water outside, insulate those containers or keep them in a protected space like a garage. Wrap them in blankets or pop them in coolers for extra protection. Thermal containers can also be a lifesaver, keeping your water at a drinkable temperature even when it's Arctic outside. And if, despite your best efforts, your water freezes, don't go crazy with direct heat like a blowtorch. Use gentle heat from a space heater or hair dryer to thaw things out slowly and safely. The moral of the story? Don't wait until you're in the thick of it. Get your food and water supplies in order now. A bit of preparation goes a long way toward avoiding winter headaches and keeping you and your family safe and comfortable when the mercury takes a dive. We're at point number 4 on our list of winter survival essentials, and this one is non-negotiable. When you're using alternative heating sources like kerosene or propane heaters, or even generators, you're dealing with a silent killer carbon monoxide. This gas is sneaky, odorless, and invisible, making it easy for it to fill your home without you having a clue. Now, picture this: you're using a heater to fend off the cold, thinking everything's peachy. Meanwhile, you and your family start feeling dizzy, maybe a little confused. Worst case scenario, you don't wake up. This isn't some horror movie plot. It's a very real risk during winter power outages. People are desperate to stay warm and forget the dangers of running these devices in spaces that aren't ventilated properly. Don't be one of them. Here's the deal: you need working carbon monoxide detectors in your home, and I'm not talking about just having them installed. These little devices are lifesavers, plain and simple. You need one on every level of your house, especially near where you sleep. And don't just install them and forget them. Test them regularly, because assuming they're functioning can be a fatal mistake. This isn't something you check off a list and move on, it's an ongoing responsibility. If you're operating a generator or any fuel-burning appliance, remember this golden rule: never run it inside your home, basement, or garage. Keep that stuff outside, well away from windows or vents. It's a minor inconvenience that pays off big in safety. Let's not sugarcoat it: you can't take shortcuts with carbon monoxide safety. Ensure your detectors are in top shape and ready before winter winds start howling. This isn't just about being prepared, it's about making sure you and your loved ones stay alive and well. Don't wait until it's too late. Make carbon monoxide detectors a priority now, and you'll thank yourself later. 3. All right, let's get straight to the point. Hypothermia is a real threat when the mercury drops and your heating system decides to take a nap. You might think you're safe inside your cozy home, but guess what? Hypothermia doesn't care about walls. It'll sneak up on you, drain your body heat, and leave you in a crisis before you even know what hit you. So what's your game plan? First things first, you need to arm yourself with the right gear. Think thermal blankets and layers, not just any layers, but the right ones. Wool and fleece are your new best friends. These materials trap heat exceptionally well, and even when wet, they don't lose their insulating magic. On the flip side, steer clear of cotton like it's the plague. Once it gets damp, cotton is as useful as a chocolate teapot. Let's talk about clothing. Start with thermal underwear. Yes, it may not be the height of fashion, but who cares when it's saving your life? Add on thick wool socks, heavy-duty jackets, and don't forget a beanie. You lose a ton of heat through your head, so keep it covered. Layer up and layer smart. More layers mean more trapped air, which means more insulation and less chance of becoming a hypothermia statistic. Now, here's a pro tip: keep moving. Even light exercise can help you maintain your core temperature, but be smart about it. Overdoing it will just make you sweat, and sweating is the enemy because wet clothes mean a fast track to freezing. Keep movement light and steady. Think of it as maintenance rather than a full workout. And for the love of warmth, watch your alcohol intake. It might feel like it's warming you up, but it's just tricking your body into thinking it's warm while it's actually lowering your core temperature. Stay hydrated, but with warm drinks like tea or soup if possible. They'll warm you from the inside out. Bottom line, don't get complacent. Hypothermia is sneaky, and the best defense is preparation. Get your gear in order, layer up, keep moving, and stay dry. When winter hits hard, you'll be ready not just to survive, but to thrive. Don't wait for the cold to catch you off guard. Be prepared, and stay one step ahead of the chill. 2. Backup power solutions. When winter rolls in and the power checks out, you're left in the dark, literally and figuratively. No heat, no light, no way to keep your phone alive to call for help, or even watch some YouTube for survival tips. In the heart of winter, this isn't just inconvenient, it can be downright dangerous. So let's talk about why having a backup power plan is not just smart, but absolutely critical. First up, the trusty gasoline-powered generator. They're reliable for short-term outages and can power essential appliances, but they come with a caveat. They're noisy, need regular maintenance, and you absolutely cannot run them inside or in closed spaces unless you're in the mood for a carbon monoxide scare. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more sustainable and long-term, solar-powered generators are your best friend. These beauties harness the sun's energy even on those short winter days, storing power in batteries that'll keep your essentials running. No gas, no noise, and no nosy neighbors wondering why your lights are still on during a blackout. The sun might be shy in winter, but with enough panels and battery storage, you'll be covered. For those who don't need to power the whole house, portable power stations or battery banks are perfect. They're compact, easy to use, and can keep your critical devices like phones and laptops juiced up. Some can even handle small heaters, which is a game changer when you're trying not to freeze your toes off. Pair them with solar panels, and you've got a renewable power setup that doesn't quit when the grid does. But here's where most folks mess up. Don't wait until the lights flicker out to figure this stuff out. Know your gear, test it, charge it, and have those solar panels at the ready. A generator isn't going to do you much good if it's out of gas, and a dead battery bank is just a paperweight if you forget to charge it. Be strategic with your power use during an outage. Prioritize heating, communication devices, and maybe a light or two. It's about survival, not comfort. You need to stretch that power out so you're not left in the cold when you need it most. Let's get real about medical supplies and prescriptions in the face of a winter emergency. This is your #1 priority when it comes to survival items. When snow piles up and roads vanish, medical help might be a distant hope. You're on your own, so you'd better be ready to handle health issues as they arise. A Band-Aid and some antiseptic aren't going to cut it. You need a first aid kit that's robust and ready for action. Start by stacking up on your prescription meds. Think about it: if the roads are blocked and you run out of crucial meds like heart medication, insulin, or asthma inhalers, you're in deep trouble. Do yourself a favor and keep at least a 30-day supply of all necessary prescriptions. Rotate them to ensure they stay fresh and effective. This isn't just smart, it's essential. But we're just getting started. Over-the-counter meds are your next line of defense. Stock up on painkillers, fever reducers, cold and flu medications, and anti-diarrheal tablets. Winter stress can knock your immune system for six, so be ready for any bugs that come your way. Add cough drops, throat lozenges, and electrolyte tablets to stay hydrated and comfortable if illness hits. And don't stop at meds. Think about injuries. Picture this: you're snowed in, someone's got a nasty cut, or worse, a sprained ankle. You need the tools to handle these situations. Include sterile gauze, adhesive tape, tweezers, alcohol wipes, and a thermometer in your arsenal. If diabetes is a concern, think ahead with extra blood sugar test strips or a backup glucometer. Hygiene, folks. It's a must. Stock up on soap, hand sanitizer, and disposable gloves to keep things clean and infection-free. A simple infection can spiral out of control if left untreated, so cleanliness should be a priority. Let's not forget the emotional toll emergencies take. High stress can lead to anxiety, headaches, and sleepless nights. Consider keeping natural remedies or over-the-counter sleep aids on hand to ensure you rest well. Sleep is your body's way of coping with stress and cold, so don't cut corners here. And here's a crucial reminder: check those expiration dates regularly. The last thing you need is to reach for a med or a piece of first aid gear only to find it's expired and useless. Make it a habit to review your supplies regularly. In the end, it's all about self-reliance. When winter throws its worst at you, make sure your medical supplies are up to the task. Be prepared, be smart, and take control of your health and safety when the world outside is anything but welcoming. In the race against winter's relentless grip, preparation becomes your strongest ally. As you brace for plunging temperatures and the possibility of power failures, equipping yourself with these essential winter survival items can be the difference between comfort and calamity. Imagine facing a frigid night where you need to depend on your strategic foresight to stay warm, healthy, and connected. A well-stocked arsenal of medical supplies ensures health issues don't spiral into emergencies. Reliable backup power means you can conserve warmth and stay in touch with the outside world, eliminating the anxiety of being cut off. By grounding yourself in preparedness, you transform from being a passive victim of winter's fury to an assertive navigator of harsh circumstances. So as the forecast predicts another cold front, rest easy knowing that you are not only ready to endure but also equipped to excel in the face of winter's wrath.